Welcome back. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Siege of Paris, episode 16. Is this the last one? I don't know. We've been thinking that we were getting to the last one for the last couple episodes, but I don't know. So the siege is done. But now we've realized that the queen is being
Wait a minute.
kind of in danger.
Hey!
From Charles, so we gotta, since she helped us, we're going to help her.
Why can't they just...
I don't even see that guy. Come and get me. Alright, after all that, we might be ready to go in. Saw me. Let's see that guy. Come get a taste. One more, I think.
You're just a dead coward!
We're just gonna kill everybody, because I don't know. I don't want to get spotted. Look at that shot. Okay, I guess that's not the way in. No! Oh, sorry, dudes. Now I gotta go all the way back around again. Well, that's a real time suck. Should I have gone this way to begin with? It looks like it. No, how do I get there?
Cast about this land, my friend.
Ooh. Oh, the courtyard tower. I wasn't even... I saw it, but I wasn't even paying attention to the words.
It appears that God himself is here to bear witness to this trial. May he show infinite mercy on the innocent. And if one is guilty of lying, scheming, committing adultery, may his holy wrath punish your wicked soul.
I have nothing to fear from him. It is you, Charles, who must seek his forgiveness.
We will soon know who God has blessed with his favor.
My guardian angel approaches.
That is no angel. Before my king, and before God, it's time I send this diable back to hell where it belongs.
Alive. Stand aside, Bishop. Your God does not bring men back more than once.
For Engelwin!
How's he alive?
For Little Mother! For my brother Ebels! I will purge you from this place! The Lord spared me. I am its wrath.
Thou hast delivered my soul from death, my eyes from tears, from my feet.
I think you want the pain. You like it.
I want only to send you to hell.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
Your wickedness is inhuman.
Lord, heaven and earth,
I'm dead now.
obey your command.
Do you haunt us? Bellatorus will.
I must find Bernard.
Bernard is safe. I sent him back to the house in Lucerne.
Once again, he uses you. You radiate God's grace, Eivor.
You mistake grace for the flash of victory.
Poor Bishop Guzla. I will pray for his soul. He served the Lord the best way he knew how.
Charles and I need to talk. It may be the last time he talks to anyone.
No. He is a wounded man who was tortured as a child, burnt and burnt again. His whole life is fear. Fear of fire, fear of God, fear of disloyalty. He deserves mercy.
Count Odo would have me kill Charles, so that he may take the throne.
Would you kill a man for the crime of losing the battle for his soul?
Not a moment ago, he was to have you burned alive. What would you have me do?
Spare him. Subdue him somehow. I can take him to a remote cottage in the east, where he will receive priestly guidance. There, we can live out quietly while I continue to prepare Bernard to succeed Charles. I assure you, he will grow up to be a ruler without ambitions for England. Spare Charles, and your people will be safe.
Does it matter? Fine.
If I can, I will spare him. But I need to be sure he can abide these terms.
I know you will do what's right. The Lord works through you. And he is merciful.
Probably should just kill him.
Father, bless these men who stand humbly in your judgment.
This is madness. What have you done, Charles? Slaughters his own servants. Madness. I should look around.
Save me, you mother of mine!
Could work on the door in the main hall.
It is madness! The servants did nothing wrong, but... Hey! You die now.
I hear you! My king, please, stay back! I will burn you! I know your fear! I have fire!
I'm not him. I'm not the king. What's this? Another key. I should try these on the main hall door. Strange. Christian holy book. No key inside. I should try these keys on the main hall door. This better work.
She's the angel. The saint. The one who shimmers with the Lord's light. And so they were right about me. All of them were right. I know. We are what they say. It has always been us. Even as they seared me, I feigned to be purged of all demons. But I knew. No amount of burning would rid me of you. And burn me they did. Below the scarred flesh, you were still there. You are still here. You have always been here. I embrace you, demon. Louder. We are the demon. We are. I am not the only demon who lurks in these chambers.
This guy's a little nuts.
Least of all, I know him, heathen! I am not mortal, but you are! Die!
You see
killed the Bishop Goslan, diable!
I killed him before.
Flee!
Maybe he'll rise from the dead again.
Hell is coming!
Fears the fire for a reason.
It is burning me!
I need him closer to the fire.
Die, diable!
Fears the fire for a reason.
We will devour you!
I need him closer to the fire.
All you had to do was give me my son! You have doomed your people! I will never forget it! Fire!
Come on!
Need him closer to the fire.
This is one of my biggest complaints with some of these games is how hard and how long the boss fights are.
Shout again!
That was for Count Odo.
No! Oh, Charles! What have they done to you? What have I done to you? It did not have to be this way.
He left me no choice.
No, you made a choice. You are not who I thought you were ever. You are not an agent of the Lord. You are a murderer.
Charles was a threat to my clan. He was mad beyond reason.
And should your clan be a threat to one of your neighbors, I hope God grants them the wisdom you lack. Now leave us.
Oh, guess I lost a friend there. You couldn't leave him alive, though. You really couldn't. Even though I said I would for her. You couldn't. No way.
Cloud. Something is happening.
Just know, Charles will never honor a bond with you Northerners. Unlike him, my word can be trusted.
Ha! You are no more than a wounded dog at my table looking for scraps.
How dare you? Wait! Eivor! Finally, we can talk sense. What of Richardis? Did you encounter Charles?
Richardis yet lives. Charles does not.
And when Francia's nobles back me to be their next king, you can count on a pact of friendship between us. Eivor the Wise. That makes today a day for celebration!
Skull!
Skull!
Santé! It has been curious to know you, Eivor. You are as enigmatic as any northerner I have met. Here's hoping there are more like you. I must go now and attend the throne. I wish you a safe journey back to England.
So we're just gonna ignore the fact that we almost had a fight here?
Your greatest challenges lie before you, Count Odo. I hope you have the strength.
As do I.
Is it wise to put our trust in him?
You should not trust Odo, or any other leader in these lands. Not fully. Odo's duty is to his people.
As is mine.
And as long as your ambitions do not cross his, there can be a reprieve from the bloodshed.
I have much to consider.
Stay true to your
Odo was a real person.
glory to your people. If you do that,
And actually did
you cannot
become
fail.
king of West Francia.
I will send word should the Franks grow an appetite for England again.
To your relations with Odo, consider returning to him the lands that Charles pledged to Siegfried.
No. Those lands are compensation for the hardship he has caused us. Odo kept Paris. That is enough.
You sound more Jarl-like all the time. And now I must think of my own people, whom I have been away from for too long.
Before you go, have this. It was my father, Sinrix, the second best leader and teacher I have known.
It has been my honor.
I hope to lead as well as you do, Eivor. If ever you hunger for more Frankish cheese, I will be happy to share.
Farewell, Toga.
All right. New quest. Homecoming. Oh, return to Ravensthorpe. Okay, we'll see what that's about.
You
must have heard about Charles.
We have eyes and ears every...
Francia will have a better king. One you might even be inclined to follow.
That remains to be seen. For now, loyalists rise to resist the change. We will continue our missions. How can I help? Back to England?
To England.
Off we go then.
I could have also gotten there for the world map, but we'll do it this way instead.
Eivor!
So, if those of you have not seen the main game, this is... Okay, well, hopefully that doesn't ruin anything for you.
It will be many winters before Frankish troops land on the English shore.
My spies say Paris fell.
It did. But the situation is thornier than that.
In what way?
I killed the Mad King, Charles the Fat. Odo, the Count of Paris, means to take the throne.
Is that good for us?
Time will tell. But Odo is an honorable man, and he has a kingdom to rebuild.
That is comforting.
We also have a hardy ally in Toka Sindriksdottir.
She is young.
And a quick study. It'll do right by us.
Perhaps they need not know the danger we face.
We came home with bounty, glory, and some Frankish foods. I can ask the raiders to keep their tails to that.
They will say everything, and then some.
Afraid so.
Assuming that's it now.
New strength comes to weathered halls. Now I can rest.
Alright. Well, I think that brings an end to Assassin's Creed Valhalla Siege of Paris. Which, of course, was the second released DLC for the main game. First being Wrath of the Druids. Again, I think a very worthy DLC. You look at our episode count. Oh, I think this is 15. Was this maybe 16? Somewhere in there. Either way, you're still looking at over 10 hours of content for this DLC, which is not bad. It's not bad, considering that Wrath of the Druids came out not too long before it. I think we're talking, I think maybe like 3-ish months, maybe somewhere in there, as far as the timeline between the two. So to turn out, basically, let's just say 20 hours of DLC content in a 3-month period is not bad. Especially, it was, good storyline, nice that it was based around like an actual event. There was actually a couple sieges of Paris by the Vikings. I always like how they, you deal with actual historical figures. Charles the Fat, real person. Was actually believe it or not, was actually the last person to rule over essentially the kingdom of the Franks as it existed, and it's before it. So what happened after him was, I mentioned Count Odo did become leader of West Francia, but the kingdom of the Franks broke up, and Charles the Fat was the last of the Carolingian family line, which was the famous family line created by Charlemagne, or not necessarily created. Wait, no, was it created by Charlemagne? No, I don't think it was created by Charlemagne. I'm getting that confused. But he was a descendant of Charlemagne. Maybe it was the Carolingian Empire is what I'm thinking of. Is what Charlemagne founded. Yeah. Anyways, sorry I'm getting distracted by that. I need to refresh my memory on some of that stuff. But I like that they tied that in to it, which is always fun about these games. Comparing it to, I mean, it was good. I mentioned this, I think, at one point during this series, which was whoever did the voice of Charles, I thought did a very, very good job. Whoever the voice actor for that was, did a good job, I thought, with that. One of the better ones I thought of main game, Wrath of the Druids DLC, and then Siege of Paris. I thought his performance was definitely one of the better ones that we've seen in the AC Valhalla world. Comparing it to Wrath of the Druids is, it's sort of unfair to compare it to the main game a little bit because it's, a much shorter storyline. You're much more limited in space, that sort of thing. So maybe a better comparison would be the Wrath of the Druids. Obviously a little different given that you had a game that was based around a major city. With this one, Wrath of the Druids was, it was much more like kind of smaller towns. And I think the nature of this one didn't necessarily lend itself to some things that Wrath of the Druids did, which was, I liked that in Wrath of the Druids you had the trade posts, the ability to build them, and you would sack places to get supplies and things like that to upgrade and allow for essentially the purchase of gear and stuff like that. This Siege of Paris didn't have that. That's the one thing that Siege of Paris, they gave your own little unique thing, which was like those rebel missions, but there really wasn't. I didn't feel like there was that unique of a twist on it, like there was in Wrath of the Druids. I liked the storyline more in Siege of Paris. So I think if you're comparing the two, Siege of Paris, Wrath of the Druids, I thought Wrath of the Druids had a little more neat features. You had the Children of the Danube you had to go out and assassinate, much like you had the Order of the Ancients. Siege of Paris, you did not have that. We had no people that we had to kind of go out and assassinate, which I thought you could have easily put that in there. Maybe, even if it wasn't some sort of secret order, it could have been you got to take out these people, maybe in order to weaken it to where you could gain access to the city or something, or something like that. I don't know. You probably could have included that, but they didn't. Maybe they felt that between the main game and the Wrath of the Druids, you didn't want to do that again. So there were some gameplay elements that I thought weren't up to the level of Wrath of the Druids. But again, I thought the story was better and was much more compelling than Wrath, even though you had the cousin component to it. I was more vested in this story, the storylines of Siege of Paris, than I was Wrath of the Druids. So, you take, I would say I'd give gameplay the edge to Wrath of the Druids, story the edge to Siege of Paris, which, you could probably say, I would say once it kind of all evens out, those were pretty similar DLCs. So, no, it was good. I liked it. Listen, I love Assassin's Creed, as you guys know. So I we'll continue to play whatever they want to throw out. So, curious to see what happens next. So, at the time of me recording this, this is the most recent DLC available. I don't know what is in store, again, because of the time I'm recording this. We are in an off year for Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed used to be an annual release. They shifted beginning with after, I believe it was after Syndicate, between Syndicate and Origins, I believe they shifted to every other year. So I'm curious to see what between now and the next release next year, if they continue with that every other year approach, what that's going to look like. Are we going to have some more DLC? Sounds like there's some stuff that the additional things that will be coming. The one thing we don't know is still, even with both of these DLCs that we've just done, is again, I don't know if I should mention this for people that may not have seen the main game yet. Okay, maybe here's how I'll say this, because I don't think I'm spoiling anything when I say this. In the main game, in the modern day, we are at the location where Eivor's gravesite was. What the main game did not tell us, nor did either of these DLCs, was how he ended up there. It was not, I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it, it was not England, it was not Norway, where he is buried. So will one of those DLCs be surrounding how he ended up laid to rest where he was laid to rest at? That would be interesting. You do see that location in the main game a little bit. It was very interesting. I mentioned in the main game that I would have liked more of the story to have been there. So I'm wondering if I could see an expansion of the map, where that, because we were there, it was a very small area where we were, but we were there for a little bit in the main game. We were there for a little bit. Did have some things, but I'm very curious to see if they expand on that location, and maybe that tells maybe the story of how Eivor came to be where he was. But either way, listen, appreciate you sticking with us through the series, if you did. And yeah, we got all sorts of other stuff out there on the channel. As I mentioned, Wrath of the Druids DLC, main game, AC Valhalla, if you like that. But if you don't, if you've seen enough of this, all sorts of other stuff out there on the channel, so feel free to check all of those out. But either way, appreciate you sticking with us. Sadly, though, this will bring an end to our series, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Siege of Paris. So, another good one. Keep it coming. That is going to be it, though. So, come on back, and we'll see you somewhere else.